Oni 14. Decision. I pick up the book. I ponder for a while, then put it back on the desk. Then I close my eyes and think, and before I know it, I've picked up the book again. I've been doing this repeatedly for a long time. I gaze at the book I picked up. To be precise, it's not a book, more like a notebook. However, to me the contents have become weightier than any book. As I flick through the pages, I give up on thinking just how many dozens of times I've already reread it. I've already memorized the contents, though I've not quite memorized it verbatim. The content doesn't change even if I reread it. Even if I want it to change, it doesn't. What's written in here is about the risk of the world collapsing and the method to avoid it. I bury my head in my hands. I had known about how this world came to be and how the system, due to taboo, but I'd never have thought that the situation had reached the final stages. If this is really true, then I sure have been reborn into an awful world. That's only if it's true, though. Certainly, I can't believe what is written here is the truth. No, rather than saying what's written is mostly only the truth, maybe it would be better to say that these are facts with some unwritten lies. The reason I think that is because it's good to be true. The method written here is to deal with the problem. If that we can break up the system, then the world can be saved. However, is that really the case? Until now, such a thing has never been done before. Will it really work out that well? Is it really so simple that the world can be truly saved as easily as snapping your fingers? If that's true, then why has this world had to go through such hardships until now? Maybe I'm just being unfairly suspicious, but I simply can't believe in this. In addition, if the system is gone, then that means that the skills and statuses will also be gone. With that which has been depended on for survival until now will be lost. The chaos from that should be particularly significant. What used to be easily possible with certain status values would no longer be possible. The prosperity brought about by skills will collapse. Effectively, a depiction of pandemonium and hell, I would expect. It might be similar to taking away electricity from modern Japan. No, considering the actual impact involved, it might be worse. This book doesn't touch on those aspects at all. Based on that, maybe inconvenient facts are being concealed, and only deceptively good facts are being covered. That's what I've come to think. To be blunt, I don't actually understand the inner workings of the system. In that sense, Shiro-san has definitely made more progress than I have. For that reason, even if something has been discovered, I don't have the slightest idea why it might have been concealed, or even whether anything has actually been hidden in the first place. There's no end to my doubts. However, I cannot simply discard the contents of this book as being bullshit either. In these incredibly precise contents, there is a persuasive argument. Even when I compare this to the contents from Taboo, there's nothing out of place. For that reason, the conclusion I reached after my agonizing is that this mostly true with some secrets and lies mixed in. I tap my finger on the book placed on the desk. If this is mostly true, then why did Shiro-san hand me this book? Well, that part is obvious enough, though. In short, I'm sure she's telling me to choose my own destiny. Considering the contents of this book, the world is going to enter a period of upheaval. Shiro-san is promoting that. She's telling me that I now have to start thinking about what I should do when the time comes, I'm sure. Shiro-san might be unexpectedly soft-hearted. Though we weren't all particularly close in our previous lives, she's going so far to aid me after all. With heresy resistance with this book, it's possible that she doesn't realize that what I've read in this book, there's a real possibility that we may become enemies. I better not come up with any half-assed conclusions, eh? At this rate, the world will be destroyed. There's probably no doubt about that. However, when is it going to happen? There's nothing written about that. All that's written is that the rate the world will be destroyed. Based on the manner of writing, with no definite time frame is given, even an exaggerated example of the world being destroyed after 1,000 years wouldn't contradict the book. Demolish the system, then use that energy to stop the destruction of the world. I think that part is the truth. If there's a lie written here, it wouldn't be in the description details, which covers even the methods and state of progress. To be honest, considering all the technical terms, I can't really make much sense of it at all. But if it was made up, then Shiro-san has an incredible imagination. If this all came from her imagination, then some sense of madness should be drifting around. It seems better to simply accept that what's written here is the truth. However, there still won't be enough energy. It needs to be supplemented. I guess this part is where the problem lies. Supplement. In other words, to kill people and collect the energy. That's precisely the reason why she's trying to launch a large-scale war between the demons and the humans. It's a path that is unavoidable in order to save the world. However, is that really the case? Going back to the timeline for the collapse of the world just now, it appears like it's not necessarily the situation. If that's the case, that Shiro-san is concealing the timeline for the collapse of the world, then there's still some leeway. then wouldn't it mean that this atrocity isn't necessary? In that case, why does it seem that Shiro-san is going to such great lengths to hurry up the action? Is there a reason why it has to be this way? It's probably here. There should probably be somewhere that Shiro-san wants to keep hidden no matter what. I need to know what that something is, and also whether there's anything that might be hidden, anything else that might be hidden. I stand up with the book in my hand. When I look outside the window, I see that it's gotten really late in the day. It's something I've only realized recently, but when it's time to eat or when it's time to sleep, Shiro-san never goes outside. She's often not around during the day, but she always returns to a mansion around that time. Around bedtime. Right now, Shiro-san should be in her room. I use the appraisal stone to confirm my status. Almost a complete recovery. But in other words, not yet a complete recovery. I only have 2 magic swords as well, and even those are hastily made ones from when my status had not yet recovered. I feel uneasy. Not only do I not feel in perfect health, Shiro-san's power is unknown. If my impression isn't mistaken, then even if it was in perfect condition, it seems that I would have no chance of winning. However, if what Shiro-san is aiming for is not something that I am able to accept, then it might turn into combat right there. I pray that it will not happen. Having made my decision, I walk towards Shiro-san's room. Oh shit, what's he gonna do? Oh, we won't find out until probably 2 days from now, I'm assuming. At least somewhere around that. I don't know. Maybe we'll hear about it in the blood chapter. Probably not, though. We're gonna hear about her being told to. Well, we're gonna hear about her getting the book. I don't think she said anything. Well, she might have had something. No, the book was a duplicate, so she hasn't said anything about the Pope yet. She's letting her learn what's going on first. Makes enough sense, I guess.